Hello, welcome to English American Literature 2, Unit 7, and Inspector Calls 3. In this unit, you have studied the characters, themes, and the plot analysis of the play. Now we will summarize these very briefly. Let's begin with the characters. The first character to analyze is obviously Inspector Gooley. He is the mysterious character who has many functions in the play. He moves the plot forward, voices Priestley's opinions about social classes and the personal responsibilities. He is also the character who controls the stage with his clever interrogation techniques. He is the main source of mystery and tension in the play. The second character is Mr. Burling. The father of the Burling family, Arthur, is a successful businessman. He is a snob and a social climber. His only concern is his position in society, and he is insensitive towards the sufferings and feelings of the others. He is shallow and selfish, and we can understand this with his reaction to Eva's death. The next character is Mrs. Burling. Mrs. Burling is the mother of the Burlings. Like her husband, she is also insensitive. She is icy, cold, and loyal to Mr. Burling in her efforts to manipulate Inspector Gooley to preserve her husband's prestige in society. She doesn't seem to learn a moral lesson from her children. When we come to Sheila Burling, she is the complicated character in the play. She is the daughter of the Burlings. And though she is very cheerful at the beginning of the play, we learn that she lost her temper and caused the firing of Eva Smith from the shop that she worked. However, she questions herself and assumes responsibility of her actions and becomes wiser and more mature by the end of the play. The next character is Eric Burling. Eric Burling is the problematic son of the family. He has heavy drinking problems and caused the pregnancy of Eva Smith. He has a tendency to escape as he seems not to be loved by his parents. That's why he disappears and wants to go to bed frequently during the play. When we come to the last significant character, Gerald Croft, we can say that Gerald Croft is a young, attractive, handsome, fashionable, and well-mannered man who comes from the rich upper-class family. Like Mr. Burling, he doesn't want to learn a moral lesson and tries to preserve his prestige in the society. That's why Gerald and Mr. Burling are alike. Now let's have a look at the themes of the play. The first significant theme that develops in the play is the class system. The play actually centers around the class distinctions. There is a hierarchy in society. The middle class, which is mainly represented by the factory owners and the businessmen in the play, seem to dominate over the working class members. The working class members demand their rights in the time that the play was written, and actually we can understand this from Eva's joining a strike for better payment. However, it is quite difficult to climb the social ladders, and Mr. Burling sees Sheila's marriage with Gerald as a means of becoming a member of the aristocracy, because he believes that if Sheila marries Gerald, who is from the upper class, he might be appointed as a knight. The second theme is about the responsibility and morality. Several characters in the play fail their responsibilities. Mr. Burling fails his responsibilities towards his workers by not paying them sufficiently. Mrs. Burling fails her responsibility in her charity work by refusing Eva to be helped by the charity organization. Gerald and Eric are also failing in their relationship with Eva. So although they have no apparent responsibility in any crime, their actions can be interpreted as immoral actions. The last theme of the play is related to the women in the play. Women of the time were expected to stay chaste, be obedient to their husband, and loyal to their husbands. This is best exemplified by Mrs. Burling, who tries to preserve the prestige of her husband, especially by manipulating Inspector Gooley. Women who did not conform these roles and norms, and if they had premarital relationship, they were just condemned by the society and treated badly. And this is portrayed by the example of Eva, who had to suicide after she's refused by the charity organization just because she was pregnant. When we come to the plot analysis, which is our last topic, the play is full of tension. The first act introduces the characters, and Inspector Gully's arrival creates the conflict. Throughout the play, the interrogation of each character increases the tension, as each interrogation reveals a secret about each character. Eric's outburst and his accusing Mrs. Burling for the death of Eva and the baby increases the tension. The departure of Inspector Gully relieves the characters momentarily. However, at the end of the play, a phone from the police station comes, and at the end of the play, the tension again increases because the news is that there is a girl who suicided just like Eva did, and there is a police on the way to Burling's home to have an investigation. So the play ends in a very tense moment and the mystery continues.